have my notes here. I took a bunch of notes because I'm not gonna keep track of everything in my head. I wanted to make a detailed video about the side effects of Reta. I just wanna share everything just so you know. First thing on my list here, which I feel like has been talked about, nausea. I felt it the very first week. I feel like when you're introducing the compound to your body, it's kind of common. I felt it once or twice when I titrated up. And I personally titrated up 0.5 every time, so I titrated up quite slow. I know some people do more, and that's fine. Definitely felt nausea, and it wasn't every time I titrated up. It was just like twice, actually. In total, 3 times I felt queasy, wanted to throw up, didn't want to eat anything, forced myself to eat. Nausea, a very normal side effect of Reta that should not last the entire time you're on it, but is not uncommon. For me, each time I felt the nausea, I only felt it for like a day and then it was gone. The second side effect I felt from Reta was like fatigue and low energy, and I only felt this in the very beginning of my cycle. So pretty much the first week. It didn't, for me personally, I know for other people, I've heard that it extended and lingered around a little bit longer than a week. I don't know why. I think it's changing a lot of things in your body. It's changing the way you metabolize carbs. It's like, it's doing so much. So it kind of makes sense. I am no expert. I am no scientist. So like, please do your own research. I was just sleepy. I wanted to sleep, and I'm a huge sleeper anyways. I get minimum 8 hours every single day. That was kind of weird to feel for me because already getting ample sleep every single night and then being just like like super low energy, it was very odd, and it made working quite hard and like all the things. I'm gonna get personal, whatever. I feel fine about it, but I'm just letting you know ahead of time. Maybe it's TMI, but I really just want to give you the real. I need to give you the real shit. And the real shit is going to be a little bit uncomfortable to talk about, but whatever, we're going to go there. Fatigue and nausea, pretty basic, normal things that damn near everybody that takes Reta experiences at some point. These are the other ones that I've been experiencing that are less common based on the research I've done personally. It is a possibility you could potentially experience them. Allodynia. I don't know how to say it properly, but pretty much one day, I think it was at nighttime, I noticed the surface of my skin everywhere on my body, like including my scalp and like the tops of my feet and the tops of my shins and like the backs of my arms. I mean, literally the entire surface of my skin started to feel extremely tender, like painful, like sensitive, but in a painful way. Anything that touched it, I mean, right now, even my shirt, like rubbing my skin like this would hurt. My sweatpants would hurt. Putting my hair in a ponytail, anything like stimulating the skin in the slightest way, even like this, would be painful. And I'm like, what in the world is going on? And it was very like creeped up. It didn't like all of a sudden it was like crazy pain. It started off at like a 4 out of 10. I just noticed, I'm like, it's kind of weird. It kind of hurts, you know? And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I was just really confused. It continued to A, linger, and B, started to hurt more and more as time progressed. Eventually, I mean, it got to a 10. I would intentionally sleep with no clothes so that nothing was rubbing my skin, but then the comforter would hurt. It would hurt to put the comforter and like the pillow. I mean, it was so uncomfortable. It was so uncomfortable, and it happened a week after I had titrated up. But like, again, like I said in the beginning of this video, I always only titrate up by 0.5. I'm never titrating up by a full milligram. So I was just very confused, and also my dose is not high. I purposely did not increase, even though I was supposed to, based on the schedule I've been following. I was supposed to have already titrated up to 4.5. And I'm like, no, I'm gonna stay at 0.5. So obviously, like, we have all these tools and Chat, GPT, and Claude and all the things. So like, I asked Claude, is this a common like side effect of Retatrutide? And I didn't even know what it was called. I'm just like, my skin hurts everywhere, especially when it got to a 10. I was kind of worried and extremely uncomfortable. I guess 7% of Retatrutide users experience this hypersensitivity, this pain, this tenderness of the skin. And I'm just looking on my notes here. It's when the nervous system perceives normal touch as painful, reported during escalation of dosing. It's rare, but it's reported, 7% of Reta users. And it's like a tingling, burning tenderness on the surface of the skin. And it was documented in the Triumph 4 trials, clinical trials of Reta. So if you want to do your own research, you can. Thankfully, by the way, it went away on its own. I was experiencing it when it was time for me to titrate up, and instead of titrating up, I just stayed at 4 milligrams. I want to say in total, the allodynia, I wish I knew how to say this fucking word, allodynia, whatever the fuck it's called, it lasted for 3 days, maybe 4 days actually. Yeah, it was like 4 days. It started off at a pain level 4, and then the third day, I think the entire day, it was like pain level 10. Really uncomfortable and kind of scary because I've never felt this pain feeling. I also have a high pain tolerance, so it was kind of weird, and I just want you to be aware of it. If you experience it, it's like, it's not the end of the world. It's not going to destroy you. And in my experience, it went away. I know that maybe it helped that maybe my body just needed to get used to that titration up from before or something. But either way, it went away after 4 days and I'm no longer feeling it. But that is a documented side effect of Reta that I feel like no one talks about. Okay, so that is allodynia. More TMI things. Oh, another one that I feel like is kind of being talked about a little bit, another side effect of Retatrutide, but I don't feel like it's being talked about enough, is, and with my notes, anhedonia. Why allodynia is the tingling, the skin, the pain. Anhedonia, numbness in general. So the initial uses for Retatrutide was for addicts, and I feel like a lot of people don't know this either, but it was for addicts, and it was very successfully pulled people off of many substances, drugs, alcohol. So again, I'm no expert, I'm not a scientist. I've been feeling probably for the past 3 weeks, like just odd, kind of not myself a little bit. It's kind of hard to articulate into words, but then when I did my research, anhedonia makes so much sense because it's a numbness. By design, I am a passionate, like vibrant personality. That's just who I am at my baseline. Like I don't know how to explain. I'm like extrovert, I'm joyful, I'm kind of bubbly, I'm just like, that's just my personality, right? I know myself very well. And again, my baseline, I'm vibrant, I'm bubbly, I'm like extrovert, I am just like, I don't know how to describe, but this is, yeah, these words are perfect. The last like, I don't know, 2 weeks-ish, 3 weeks, I've been feeling kind of like, I've been feeling like, meh, like blah, like, yeah, I guess the word technically anhedonia is connected to numbness. Now, I was doing my own research and I'm looking it up and I'm like, this is just so it's out of character for me to feel this way. Everyone's different, but for me, I was just like, what is happening? Like, I'm never like this. And then I started to feel like, you know, almost like, because it's such a stretch from my normal personality, I low-key started to feel like depressed, I guess. But then I was like looking at my life, I'm like, okay, but there's nothing to be depressed about. But like, then I'm realizing Reta interacts with dopamine. It interacts with dopamine release. And I took notes on this. It dampens the reward system. The cravings go away. You're not wanting food anymore. It's kind of like when you talk about fat loss, you can't like spot treat fat loss, right? You can't be like, oh, I just want to lose weight in my arms and not the rest of my body, or I just want to lose weight in my stomach. It's like fat loss happens everywhere, right? You can't pick and choose where fat loss happens. Reta is the same way in the sense, it doesn't just apply to food. It applies to everything, right? It applies to everything. I mean, pleasure everywhere. It affects pleasure everywhere. The part of Reta that affects like the dopamine and just like your pleasure center is the GLP-1. So this is actually all of the GLP compounds. acts like brakes on dopamine release, reported usually around 3-month mark, which I'm feeling mine a little bit before 3 months, but brain eventually adapts to lower dopamine signals. It's just numbing. For me, it's numbing to my entire everything. Personality, lust for life. I feel like it affects libido overall. And I don't mean sexual libido only. I mean libido for life. It definitely is going to dampen and dull, like all of these things after so long. If you are starting to feel that, it's very normal. I personally started to feel it week 8, 9. I'm reading my notes. Inability to feel pleasure from things that normally make you feel good. This segues into the last TMI side effect. It's been harder for me to reach orgasm during any sexual encounters. TMI, TMI, TMI. It's okay. I feel fine talking about it. It's not impossible, but I know myself. And I am a high sex drive woman. And also reaching orgasm is never a challenge for me, you know, whether it's with another person or it's by myself. And from someone who it's never challenging, ever, 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 to experience these private moments, I'm like, this is so weird. This is so weird. I don't understand. And then I looked this up, and this is also a common thing because, again, it's connected to your pleasure receptors and all the things. So this is all, it's all like the dark side of Reta. I feel like these are the side effects no one's talking about, and I just wanted to put them on your radar and make you aware. So what am I gonna do with all this, right? Because I've experienced all these things. The hypersensitivity is gone, the nausea is gone, I'm not fatigued anymore. Anhedonia, which is the numbness and just feeling kind of off, it's still there, right now as I'm talking. The kind of more private, like kind of harder to reach orgasm whenever I am engaging in anything sexual, also still happening. These are all things, by the way, that they revert back to normal. Thank God. The body's so fucking lit. The body is so smart that it's just gonna go to its fucking baseline afterwards, right? Because I'm experiencing this towards the end of my intended cycle of Reta, for me, it makes sense to finish out my cycle. I'm right there at the very end. I'm almost done. I'm 10 pounds away from my goal weight with this compound, and I am 3 to 4 weeks away from the intended time I planned on being on Reta. Because I'm so close to my goal and my intended time, these side effects that I'm feeling are tolerable. I'm personally gonna thug it out till the end. I'm gonna thug it out, and also knowing like everything's gonna go back to normal when I'm off. If you have any questions, hit me up. I get my Reta from Arrow. The link is in my bio, and if you use Jazz15, JAZ15 as the code when you're checking out, you get 15% off. I love Reta. It's been amazing, and I have used many compounds over the years, being a competitive bodybuilder for the last 4 years, and Reta's really dope. I know all these side effects made it sound like scary or like whatever, but it's fire. I'm still gonna take it, and I would take it again too. But anyways, thank you for listening. Long video, but I'm always gonna give you the real shit.